Welcome to my latest Zoomcast. John Abendroth here, PGA member, former PGA Tour player, and I want to do something a little different today. A number of years ago, I wrote for the PGA website an article every few weeks that was called A Lesson Learned. And this was a kind of an evaluation or some thoughts on why a tour player won his event on that particular week. And I thought I would kind of, replicate that in a video form here, and hopefully it's something that you can learn from. And as you watch golf, you can maybe watch it in a different aspect. And as always, I'd like to see you improve your golf game. As a golf instructor, I know that's something that is always a big part of every golfer's dream, is to play better, and maybe you can learn something from me and from your favorite tour player. Sponsored today by Original Joe's of Westlake. Many of you here in the Bay Area know about them, and they've got both indoor and outdoor seating available at this time. Always a fun time there. And by our friends at Baggy's Liquors. They've been in Burlingame, California since 1958. And as I like to say, eat and drink responsibly. So what I'm calling this is Path to Victory. And again, a lesson learned is what was done before. And I wanted to give that, kind of full disclosure so that I'm not stealing the term from our friends at the PGA magazine. And so Justin Leonard pulled off just a huge victory recently at the Players Championship, defeating Lee Westwood and his secret weapon, Helen, AKA his fiance and caddy, by one stroke. What a great run Lee Westwood has had the last couple of weeks with two runner-ups in very large championships, the Players and the Arnold Palmer Invitational, earning over $2 million as runner-up. So really, really great for him at 47 years old. And it was a huge, victory from him. He made a great putt on the last hole to come out of a log jam at tied for second and end up second by himself. So that was, really, really cool to watch. Back in the day, players relied on their caddy or maybe just their wife or girlfriend that they traveled with. And now you hear the term team when players are finishing up. And it's very often that you hear that concept, and you've got the player probably has family members, an agent, a psychologist, somebody that works on their putting, somebody that works on their fitness, somebody that works on their long game. And I'm sure that in Justin Thomas's case, that's been a huge case the last number of weeks after the gaffe that he had earlier in the year that was caught on video at one of the tournaments, both the audio and the video, that cost him a major sponsor with his clothing contract. And it appeared that he took off some extra time to kind of get his mind wrapped around it and to get back to playing again. And as I say, I'm sure his team had a lot to do with that. And as a highly emotional player, I felt, and here's the lesson learned part of this, I felt that with a fairly large crowd under our COVID restrictions at the Players Championship, that a highly emotional player like Justin Thomas and other high-profile players, that they are performing better now under these circumstances with a crowd to sort of spur them on, compared to some of the younger players who have had success in the COVID time where there wasn't a gallery, such as Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, where their crowd status was probably more in line with what they were used to, having just come out of college the last couple of years, where there would be, relatively small or no galleries that they played in front of. And now the inverse is true, in that you've now got the crowds coming back, and the high level players that have been playing in front of these big crowds for a number of years are starting to maybe see their games come back. So interesting thing there. So the point is, I think that Justin Thomas found his comfort zone, is what I like to call it. And I've seen a lot of examples over the years of players that, that were great in amateurs ranks, but they couldn't break through, get their tour card, or win on the tour, or succeed on the tour, and it was just out of their comfort zone. Or players that were kind of okay in the amateur ranks, and then all of a sudden they come out and they're real stars on the tour. That was their comfort zone. So kind of interesting there. So for all of you players out there who play either recreationally, club golf, or maybe local competition, figure out the concept of comfort zone. What are you comfortable with, and what levels are you comfortable with, and what are your surroundings, and how do you approach competition? I think that that's a real good way to improve your game and to improve your performance in these type of events. And I think there's some ways to kind of work on it. When you're practicing on the driving range, try to think about, these are competitive shots. Hit a driver, then take a 5 iron or a fairway wood, rather than just hitting, 25 shots with a 7 iron, one after one after one. That's good to work on your swing, but to really get something out of it for comfort zone, I think that that's a difficult way to really take it from the driving range to the golf course. And one last thought: if you're having some problems with, competition, that often is going to take 5 hours, break up the golf course into segments. Maybe it's 6 hole segments. Maybe it's 3 hole segments. Maybe it's the front 9, and then break up the back 9 into a 5 and a 4. And I know one of the golf courses that I play regularly over the years, from the fifth green to the sixth tee, there's a long walk, and so that's a good place to sort of take a mental breather, and then kind of start over and say, okay, I've played my first 5. Now let's go on to the next segment, and I think that's a good way to kind of give yourself a little bit of a mental break. And then certainly, if you get to the ninth hole and there's a refreshment stand and you get a snack and a drink, then you can kind of carry on from there. So hopefully this will help you. And as I say, I'm calling this a path to victory, a lesson learned, if you will, and learn your comfort zone. And I think you'll find some good successes there. And as you watch golf the next number of weeks, we got some big championships coming up: match play, Masters, U.S. Open, Women's Open, etc. And so I think as you watch golf, and get in your own mind, why did this player succeed? Why did another player not succeed? There's been a lot of talk lately about Rory McIlroy doing poorly because he tried to chase the distance that Bryson DeChambeau had created, and it's turned out to be, even admittedly to Rory, a mistake. And he's trying to now regroup and rethink it. So find your own comfort zone, find your own level that you are able to succeed at. And I think by thinking about some of these things may give you some enlightenment in your game. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And again, John Abendroth here, PGA Golf member, and thanks to our friends at Original Joe's and Baggy's Liquors. And we'll see you down the road, as we like to say. Thanks so much. Bye.